So welcome to the End Vault, and first apologise, putting this video up so late after I initially started the channel. This channel's about, personal finance, it's about saving, it's about investing, it's about, making streams of income passively or non-passively. So we're going to talk about, one aspect of, that sort of, life of saving money and making money the best way possible. And so as the title says, Brexit, lockdown, what next? And it's a question that we've all got to ask ourselves. And the best thing that we can do is to try to be prepared the best we can. That's it. That's all you can do. You can only prepare for something the best you can. And how that looks is obviously individual based on, your current situation. You now have to look at yourself and say, how am I going to prepare going forward, with this? And, I'm going to put some videos based on, saving and investing and, all these sort of topics, which I'm hoping to cover in the next couple of videos. But, in this video here, I was just trying to say to myself, how can I bring value here? And, we're approaching a new year. We've had the Brexit, which is already going ahead. We're in the lockdown as well. Many of us have been hit financially, emotionally, mentally. There's so much going on, and where are we going? What next? So one thing that I'm going to do as well, and I think we should all do, is just take a step back, be grateful for a start that we're well, we're safe, we're well, especially with this virus. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is how is my situation, financially? How's my life, emotionally and mentally as well? And I think you've got to look at all these sort of areas, because we've just had one of the toughest years in history, which has really challenged us. It's challenged us to a new level, I think, a new level. And being a Christian, being a Catholic, it was hard as well, just because, I go to church, doesn't mean I'm immune to it. It was hard, and it still is hard. So one thing that you can do, though, is, look at something that you want to do, something that you want to change. It's a great opportunity to look at your finances, look at where you want to be, and really, look at life in terms of, this was my life in lockdown, prior to lockdown. Where do I want my life to go next? Should I, learn something new, change jobs, get into habits of doing other things, get into time management. There's so many things that we can do to improve ourselves, and basically that is what's next. What is next? It's time to look at ourselves and see, what do I want to do? How do I want to improve as a person? What do I really want to do in life? Like me, for example, today, I'm shooting this video in a car, driving through Reading and talking about this sort of stuff, and I probably should have done it a long time ago, but I didn't. and you can't go back. You can't go back in the past and alter anything. But what you can do is you can say to yourself, well, you know, now I'm actually starting a new journey. I'm actually starting now this YouTube channel, and, you know, trying to bring value to you guys. And I am in a car and I am talking about this, you know, and so be it. You know, let's start. And this is the fundamental part about, you know, where do you go next? Well, it is about starting. It's about starting something new. So whether or not that be a YouTube channel, or it be a podcast, or it be, you know, learning something new. There's so many courses that you can do online now. It's possibilities are endless, you know, learning about finance and stuff like that, which I'm currently doing myself, you know. About knowing investing, real estate, you know, looking at passive income, looking at all those sorts of things, you know, and the possibilities are endless. If we go into a lockdown, okay, which is why I've titled it, you know, lockdown, Brexit, uncertainties, what next? If we go into another one, please do me a favour. Pick something that you want to maybe learn, something new that you want to learn, and go for it. Just go for it, okay? On this channel, you know, like I said, we talk about saving money, we talk about personal finance, we talk about investing, we talk about those sorts of aspect of, you know, how to create sort of, you know, a financial freedom, should we call it, or financial stability. That's what we're looking at this channel, and obviously the possibility of, you know where can you put your money maybe to earn some passive income as well. So those are the things we're going to be looking at in future videos. But the point of this video here is for you to start something that, you know, you're going to take away, a skill that you're going to take away, and you can implement this skill, that then enables you to do something that you like, you know. And it can be something in terms of, you know, learning how to cook, or learning how to paint, learning how to draw, you know, get knowledge in a certain industry or a certain topic that you can put together, you know, arts and crafts, for example, stuff like that. Endless possibilities, you know, that we really need to be looking at to, you know, to make, because we've just had one of those years where it rocked us, you know, as human beings. It's really rocked us, and, you know, my prayer is that we get back on track the best that we can. But if I can, you know, give you any advice, it's start doing. Okay, just start doing something, putting something in practice, small things every day. Just work on something, and I think you'll be happier. I think that this is a massive turning point of, you know, you starting something that you were thinking of starting, I ain't got round to it, or there's been, you know, so many difficulties in the past year, you know, and I know there will be continuing, but now we really have to change that mindset and, you know, start looking at what is it we want to do for you know, for enjoyment as well. You know, learning something new that you've always wanted to do is amazing, and that's really what I wish for you guys, you know. So what's next has got to be positive. You can't have negativity of what's next. Okay, there is the COVID and there is a continuing of the Brexit and all that, but this is about you. This is about, you know, where you're going next. Now, drop some comments. You know, am I blabbing on too much? Is there something that maybe, you know, you want me to go into? What sort of videos? Maybe we're gonna, obviously it's going to be about, you know, personal finance. So this is what the channel's about. So I called it the M Vault because, you know, myself is Marino Palladino, but I thought M and then a vault, and I thought to myself, vault as in, you know, big vault, you know, the money vault that you see in films and that sort of thing. So I called it that anyway. But, you know, it's about our own individual progression. Okay, this is a channel to do with that. We're trying to build, building a community as well. So if there's anything, that you can take away from this video is, what next really depends on you. It really depends on you. You can put your head in the sand and you can, be negative, or take the opportunity or opportunities to, get in a position where you might be starting something, that you wanted to start for a long time, but maybe just, didn't get round to it, or didn't have the right mindset, because 9 times out of 10 doing things requires a mindset, and you've got to have that mindset to do it. If you don't have that mindset, it ain't gonna happen. You've got to be willing to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and work on what you got to do. For example, this YouTube channel, I've got to work on this video. I'm working on this video. I've got to edit it. You got to work on the thumbnail, description, all that sort of stuff. It takes work, it takes work. Like if you did a podcast, or if you started an Instagram page, to do with something. So it's depending on what you want to achieve. Which is why we have to, start to look at life in a positive way. And I know obviously there was a lot of suffering that has been going on with the pandemic. A lot of loss of life, and I sympathise, with anyone who has lost someone, to this, or knows someone who they've lost due to this horrible disease. So I'm all for that, comforting, the bereaved is really close to me, because at my local parish I run a bereavement group. So it's hard to say to someone who's lost someone, you've got to look at the positive, you've got to keep going forward, and it isn't like that. And so my prayers and my heart goes to anyone who has lost someone. But in general, if you're speaking about in general, where you've got complaining going on, that's just as like crunching in a way, because you're putting something inside your head that is already going to say something like, no point doing this because it's not going to work. And I'm going to tell you from experience, only way that you'll know if something works or something doesn't work is to do it. Okay? You've got to do it. You've got to just do it. You can't just say, you can't just say let's just think about it. Things become real when you do it. Okay? It's no point thinking about, for example, investing. Okay? But then you've got the fear of it and you're not doing it, or you're not educating yourself about it, and so you'll never do it. Same with this YouTube channel, the fear of going on camera, there's all petrification. I'm petrified going on here, I've never done this before, but your will is stronger than you think. Your will is stronger than you think, and it's getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. You've heard that probably before. So you've got to put yourself in a position where you've got to look at what you want to do and try and do it. Okay? So drop me a comment anyway. Where do you, what next for you? That's going to be the question. What next for you? It's not about me. The channel is a community where we talk about these things, and you know, what is next for you? You know, is it learning something new? Is it, you know, starting to, you know, look at life different? You know, there's so many things that you can be looking at, or you know, looking at your finances, as we just talked now. There's so many things that you can talk about, that we can talk about. But at the end of it, it's all depends on, you know, what you want to achieve, what your dreams are. So thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And look forward to seeing you in the next videos, where we're going to be diving into more of the, you know, saving money, finances, investing, all that sort of stuff. But for the moment, I just wish you a lovely new year and blessings to you and your families. And I just want the best for you, really. I just want the best for you going forward. That what's next is going to be something even more amazing. 2020 is done. You know, it's been a hard year. But come 2021, we need to change. We need to change the way we do things. Otherwise, it won't change.